everyone. That song that you just heard is the new single Come Home Safe by ARIA award-winning country musician Matt Ward, who is joining us on the show for the inside scoop on his new album and upcoming tour. Welcome.
Hi Samantha, how are you?
Hey, I'm great. Thank you. How are you going?
Yeah, I'm well, thank you. Yeah, out in regional South Australia, down on the Fleurieu Peninsula, and yeah, life is good, thanks.
I was actually telling one of my friends about this interview, and I was saying, you're not just you don't just make country music, you are living country music. So you've got horses, you've got chickens, and again, you're really in the heart of the country.
Yeah, so moved out here. Well, I've worked in land management across South Australia and Australia for quite a long while, and generally I was living in the city but spending a lot of time out bush through my work. But yeah, recently moved to the Fleurieu Peninsula on a small, I wouldn't call it a massive farm, but certainly a small farm on the Fleurieu Peninsula, and we're slowly building up what we're doing with the place. But yeah, we've got chickens, we've got a horse, and yeah, we hope to make it into a viable hobby farm. So yeah, certainly it's connected to my music, definitely.
And was this also the place where you recorded the music video for Come Home Safe?
Yeah, that's right. So that was all. Yeah, I used to make music videos. I used to travel interstate to make music videos for nice locations. And for this music video, I really wanted to use a South Australian up and comer film producer. His name's Jacob Tamas, and he's done some really cool stuff and is going to do more cool stuff. And he came up here and he's like, "Nah, you've got everything right here that you need." So I'm using that, and I'm using some of that for my teasers for my album as well. So yeah, pretty special just to pop outside and make a music video in your own home.
Yeah, that sounds really cool. And I love that also Come Home Safe. When I first heard the title, I'm like, oh no, this is going to be like a really sad song about war. But no, it's about finding yourself and coming home to yourself. And yeah, what
Yeah,
inspired you to write this?
it's a bit of a long story. I had a couple of recurring dreams. One was about a location in the Adelaide Hills, like just a certain landscape, and the other one was about another type of landscape. And then this one time, these two dreams came together, and I was in a place called Springton at a pub with my music producer, and I was like, "Oh, that's weird." And I looked it up, and I'd never been to Springton, and I'd never heard of it, but it was actually in the Adelaide Hills. And so I went to visit it one day when I had COVID, but I was just coming out of COVID, and I went to visit it. And on the way home, I had a bit of a nasty car accident. So it was kind of like weird that all these things came together to this sequence of events. And that inspired me to write the song. And yeah, and also after that, sort of I started writing and sort of kicked my butt into gear to start writing again off the back of COVID, the downtime during COVID. So yeah, it was a whole range of events. And yeah, it is about finding yourself and finding contentment. And as the song notes go, the watching out for the perils of always searching for happiness in far-flung places when it might be right there in front of you at home.
Yeah, that's really cool how it's kind of come full circle. And I want to say as well that you have lived in some far-flung places, including basically like the home or second home of country music itself, Texas. So,
Yeah, so back, yeah.
so how has so what was it like living in Texas, and how has this influenced your music?
Yeah. So quite a while ago, I went to Austin City Limits Music Festival with a mate, and that started my love affair essentially with Texas and with America. And I'd always actually thought, oh, America, we see it so much in pop culture and on our TVs. I don't need to go there. And but no, it was a wonderful place to visit, and everyone incredibly friendly and warm. And I just loved the music scene there, and I really wanted to immerse myself in that. So I lived there for 6 months or so, and yeah, really took the opportunity to see as much live music, make as many connections as possible, and ended up actually recording my second album in a studio called Yellow Dog Studios outside of Austin, and they've done some great things with many artists across many genres, and yeah, that was really special to record an album there.
Yeah, that sounds like an absolutely amazing experience. And now you've really brought it home for that second album and also for your first one as well. You won an ARIA award and, well, sorry, you've won two ARIA awards. And I'm sure this third album is going to be just as impressive or even more impressive than the first two.
Yeah,
So
who knows? Hopefully.
So your third album is coming out in September. Can you tell us a little bit more about your album? And
Absolutely, yeah. So I after that car accident, I went down to Tassie to start. Well, I was looking after my house and my producer. He's a guy called Matt Fell, and he's a really well-known producer in the genre, and he's currently sort of playing with the Whitlams, touring with the Whitlams, and he had an ABC show called The Producer. And I was looking after his property in Tasmania for a couple of weeks whilst he was touring, and it was just me and my dog, and yeah, it was amazing writing in his studio. It's nothing fancy, but that's where I really got writing, and just spending time in nature, and then coming back home and writing, and no other distractions. It was really really important time for me personally as well. And so that's when I started writing, and then I went back down there to record it with Matt. It just felt natural to record the album with him, given I wrote most of it in a studio. And yeah, the album's called The Long Way Home, and similar themes. It's lots of stories about finding home in oneself, as you say, and lots of upbeat songs and some slower ballads as well. But all really heartfelt songs. And definitely got country feels in them, but also not corn country. You know, I think they're pretty fresh country, and almost all, yeah, they're alternative country or just contemporary Australian music that you can tell comes from Australia. So yeah, really looking forward to it, and hitting the road as well for the tour. So I've got 20 dates across Australia, and it's called the Long Way Home Tour. So we'll start in South Australia, go across the country, then and come back to South Australia as well.
yeah, that's really cool that you started writing again when you're immersed in this country life and in this again, like pretty much at the heart of what you do is your personal experiences that all relate back to this. It's amazing.
Yeah,
And
that's yeah, it's nice, and I think that's if you're living your life that way and always making decisions or choosing adventures to, I guess, continue to channel and support those things that you value, then it does sometimes just come together nicely like that.
and where can we go to show you all of our support?
So on all the socials, Matt Ward Music, and I've got a website, mattwardmusic.com, and that's got all my show tickets and details, as well as where you can pre-order the album on vinyl and CD and various things. So yeah, it's going to be a really busy year, but things are lining up nicely. So yeah.
Yeah, well, thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thank
Um,
you.